What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to EARYL Productions. You guys, we got the first early reactions for the next Marvel Disney Plus project called Ms.Marvel, dropping on Disney Plus June 8th, you guys. Now, these are non-spoiler early reactions. A lot of people got early press screenings for this series. They got the first 2 episodes released to them. Now, unfortunately, this isn't my perspective. This isn't a reaction from me. I guess I'm not that important yet. Disney Marvel isn't sending me anything. But you know what? One can dream and one can continue to work hard. And hopefully one day I'll be a part of this group of people getting these early press screenings for these shows and movies and getting invited to early premieres. That is ultimately the goal, you guys. But I'm excited for Ms. Marvel. I really enjoyed everything I've seen thus far, from the trailers, the TV spots, the photos, everything. The change of powers isn't really necessarily a big thing for me. A lot of people don't like it. A lot of people feel like this show really isn't for them. They're like, well, maybe I'll skip out on this show. And that's completely fine. It doesn't have to be for you. But it's for the bulk of the MCU fans who haven't seen themselves on the big screen before, like the American Pakistani culture. That is huge for them moving forward. I can only imagine how excited they must feel when they get to see somebody who looks like them, and you get to see the culture really, in full depth in this show. Like, that's really exciting for that core group of people, and I'm very, very happy for them, you guys. But let's dive deep into some of these early reactions for Ms. Marvel. Okay, you guys, let's get into it. This is coming from Adam Lavick. I saw the first 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel and found most to be really heartwarming and charming. It's a sweet coming-of-age story packed with very relatable family drama. It's funny, and moments between Kamala and her family were some of the highlights for me. Coming from John Roca. First 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel are fun, inventive, and very charming. It's Into the Spider-Verse meets Shang-Chi and the CW. Don't know how I feel about the CW part. Love the characters, their relationships, the cultural celebration, and the dreamer story being told here. Iman is an absolute joy in the role. Coming from Hector Navarro. I've seen the first 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel, and they are exceptional. Just like the comics, Kamala Khan's story is our story, and you'll root harder for her than maybe any other MCU hero. A perfect coming-of-age show. And this actor here, Iman, is a treasure. Very interesting. This is coming from Drew Taylor. Ms. Marvel is really, really wonderful. Iman is a star, and the stylized aesthetic, which feels almost like a live-action Spider-Verse, is dazzling but never distracting. All the emotional stuff is front and center, real and honest. Get excited. Very interesting that this is being compared to Into the Spider-Verse. I like that. That is great signs of hope, you guys. That is fantastic. Fantastic. Let's take a break from these early reactions. The first 2 episodes, we have the official runtime, you guys. The first episode is 47 minutes long, and the second episode is 49 minutes long. Let's continue on. This is coming from PC Culture. I got to watch 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel. I am a super fan of the coming-of-age story about a Pakistani-American Muslim teen with a Marvel twist. Iman is so relatable and full of joy. I loved watching Kamala geek out like we do. Essentially, she's a fangirl. She's a fan of the Marvel heroes. She loves Captain Marvel, you guys. She loves Captain Marvel. This is coming from Comic Book Saga. Ms. Marvel is a vibrant and exciting story that takes a plunge into both the MCU and the Pakistani culture. Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan is absolutely fantastic, as she's likely to become an MCU favorite. Not to mention her new powers are a phenomenal addition. I'm glad to hear somebody, stating that they like her powers. That was like the huge conversation on Twitter about her, her power set being changed to fit the narrative of the MCU because a particular very stretchy man coming soon to the Marvel Cinematic Universe who was in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, that being Reed Richards, you guys. Very interesting. This is coming from Grace Randolph. I've seen the first 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel. Come for the MCU fan fever dream. Like, wow. Stay for the quality origin story. Surprisingly very similar to Turning Red. My son loves Turning Red, you guys. He absolutely loves it. This is coming from Liam Crowley. Ms. Marvel is a delight. Many familiar coming-of-age tropes, but executed with that Feige flair. Adore the stylistic choices, one of the most innovative MCU projects. And yes, Iman was born to play Kamala Khan. Not a game changer, but you'll walk away smiling. Very interesting. This is coming from Jack McBrien. Ms. Marvel thoughts. Iman is fantastic. She's relatable, likable, funny, everything you would want Kamala. Jersey City feels alive in a way that no other location in the MCU has been. Has life similar to the New York and Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. I like that. That's very, very, very hopeful. Damn, that sounds awesome. This is coming from Joshua Ryan. I watched the first 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel. It's so closely linked to the MCU, yet unbelievably different from what they typically put out. It's creative and the truest depiction of the teenage life in a shared universe. Very interesting. Nothing but great early reactions for this show, you guys. Look, I'm excited. I've been excited from day one, and the fact that people were really stating that it's really embracing, the character and its roots. It's embracing, the coming of age story of this young teenager struggling American Muslim, Pakistani, like all that stuff is fantastic to hear, and that's why Marvel is so different. They understand the fans and they understand, the world that we live in is very different. And it looks different. And they understand that adapting these characters onto the big screen means so much. It is huge, you guys. It's massive. I mean, look what the Black Panther did. It was huge, a cultural movement. Huge. And, Shang-Chi, really unfortunate that it had to come out during the time it came out. But imagine if we weren't in a pandemic and, that movie would have thrived so much, you guys. Representation is massively important in every single category, you guys. So I'm really happy that it's really embracing that particular vocal point in this series. And, that's going to be the norm for the Marvel Cinematic Universe moving forward, you guys. But there you guys have it. That is the early reactions for Ms. Marvel. Thoughts and opinions. Post your comments down below. Are you guys still excited? Are you guys not excited about the series? It airs June 8th next week. And I hope, no, not next week. Sorry. Is it next week? Maybe 2 weeks. I think it's 2 weeks from now. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought about the positive early reactions. Peace.